your bank in reference to that information, because if our system is an electronic system, if it cannot quickly identify how the payments are to be applied, then it will, the payments will not go through. I'm seeing that the payments posted, but then they were adjusted.
Right.
So is there, and then I see a third payment.
Mm-hmm. The third payment of?
Of $4,762.52.
Yeah, and then
So what? Okay. So you did make a third payment?
Yeah, that's that third payment, and it says it's already gone through.
Okay, it has been deducted. Okay.
Yeah, and it says it already went through, that actually the credit card's paid off and I have more available credit. So that one went through?
Yeah, so I do show that it posted to your account.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I would just continue to monitor it. If there's any issues, definitely go ahead and contact our contact our credit card servicing department.
Okay.
And we can take a look at it. For right now, I'll go ahead and close out the research request for the $3,877.41 payment.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and allow it a few business days. And if there's any issues or any questions, please go ahead and give us a call, and then they can go ahead and take a look at that for you.
Okay, and with that, since that's already paid off, nothing else should happen to it. It should stay that way, the way it is right now, because it's already went through, because the automatic withdrawal.
Okay, I do see that the payment has posted to the account, sir.
Right.
Let me see if there's any additional information as far as the reason. So the other two payments, we're showing that what occurs is once the payment comes in,
right,
it's an electronic posting to your account.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two payments, the one that I'm showing a research request on for $3,877.41, I am actually showing it was rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why it was adjusted out of your account. That occurred twice. Okay. For the $3,877.41, and then the second payment you mentioned, $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would suggest is to monitor the third payment that you made, and also contact your bank, because the external bank, they would have a reason for the rejection. So anytime a payment does not go through, our automatic payment system will go ahead and provide the external bank with the reason for the rejection.
Right, and then the other bank, they would have to provide a letter to you guys saying like why it was rejected.
So they're not showing on their side the reason why the payment did not go through?
I was saying, like, when they send you guys a letter saying why it wouldn't go through, if that was the case. Like if it was...
No, sir. It automatically provides them with the reason why the payment did not go through.
Well, like I'm saying, yeah, you're saying you guys would provide the reason, but what they would still have to provide the reason to you guys, right?
They will provide the reason to you as the reason why the payment did not go through.
Mm-hmm.
So they should automatically send you out notification that that payment did not go through.
So yeah, so I'm saying, so since right now it already like posted, it went through, that it's already paid off. Like there should be no reason why it should go back to the way it was.
Okay, I am showing that third payment posted.
Yeah.
But that payment posted, let me just take a look here. It posted on the 26th.
Right.
So that's over the weekend, and today is Monday.
Right.
So what I'm suggesting is you want to go ahead and monitor it for a few days, because I'm showing that the previous payments go back to those previous payments. So So the first payment that posted on the 15th was adjusted out a few days later.
Yeah.
And then the payment for the $1,000, the same situation.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to set expectations that there's not going to be any issues with your bank as far as submitting the funds for that payment, because I'm showing that the previous two payments were rejected when USAA tried to collect the funds.
Right. It was that. It might have been a couple numbers where might have had either the routing number wrong or the account number, I believe, from the last time. So I just adjusted it. So
that's okay, not a problem, sir. So that's what you want to clarify with your bank to make sure that there's no issues with that, because what happens is it's an automated payment system. So once the payment comes through, it'll post to your account, but then the system will go back and collect those funds. So if when the automated system goes back to collect the funds from your bank, they're unable to collect those funds. And so based on that payment trail, your external bank should be able to explain to you the reason why they didn't provide those funds to USAA, because when they send out the payment, the funds do not go out at the same time.
But
it's a two-step process.
I'm confused though. So just to kind of clarify. All right, it's posted, but that would mean the funds are already there, that it has already been paid for, because there's to my understanding, if it was never paid for, they wouldn't post or anything. It wouldn't show you that you have this available credit, because I know is as soon as you do a transfer from like savings to checkings for say, and it's automatically pulled through, that's it. Like it goes through immediately and it shows you that available credit. So if I'm transferring from like my savings to checking, $100 immediately goes through. So I was trying to understand that since it's showing me the available credit that I've already paid off that credit card, and that means pretty much the funds are already there. The funds have already been pushed through.
No, sir. And that's the situation that what happened with the last two payments. So what occurs with an external bank, speaking only of the external bank process, so the external bank will go ahead and debit your account for those funds. They will send out the payment to USAA. USAA posts the payment, and then they go back and collect those funds that they've set aside, that they have pending in your account. So once USAA goes back to collect those funds that they've set aside, because if your bank can't pull the funds, the payment won't even go out. So what your bank does is they will go ahead and debit those funds, set them aside, send out the payment. Some banks will send out an actual check. Other banks will send them out electronically and submit that transaction to USAA. USAA will post it, but they will go back and collect those funds. And for some reason, when USAA is going back to collect the funds that your bank has set aside, they're not providing those funds. So I don't know if it's an issue with the routing, like you mentioned, the routing number and a checking account number, that once USAA goes back and present, there's a disconnect because what USAA is requesting is not matching up with your account information. So that can definitely be a possibility, but you wanted to clarify that with your bank.
That's the thing. Like once I clarify it, and I'm like, well, yeah, if it's already showing through the other bank saying you guys, then that's it. If you guys show that it's already been like transferred, the funds are already showing, then that would mean like it's already been processed, or you guys went and posted it. I know like for external banks, sometimes it takes a few days, or it takes how many days for you guys to accept it. But that was kind of my understanding. This is what I'm seeing on my account. Like then that means the funds are already there. Like it's already touch of a button. Like it already happens, kind of however whenever you guys want to receive it. And then that's showing me the available credit, because I have a credit limit of 8,400. Right now it's showing me that there's obviously there's like 382. That it's in red. I see that. But then the rest is like $7,917, and that means
Yes, sir.
that means that's it. That's all I have on my card to pay for. It means the other amount was already paid for.
Yes, sir. And that is correct, as long as there's no issue when USAA actually collect the funds that have posted to your account. So if that issue has been resolved with the external bank, then there should be no issues. And then, yes, you're correct. Then your current balance due is the $382.26.
Right.
So I would just continue to monitor it for a few days just to make sure that it's not adjusted out of your account like the previous two payments were.
So yeah, just keep an eye on it.
Right now, I don't see any issues.
All right. So you don't feel like there would be issues, or you just don't know yet.
I don't know at this point, sir. So as of right now, I don't see any issues. You are correct. It has posted to your account. That is your current balance. That is your available credit limit.
Okay.
I will continue to monitor it, and if there's any adjustments, I will go ahead and contact our customer services department and advise them. In the interim, I would also just monitor with your external bank and contact them as far as the reason why. If you're concerned, if you're still concerned at this point, I would definitely contact your bank just to clarify the reasons why that payment did not go through. They could definitely verify that you're using the correct routing number, account number, that sort of information. Because the payments are posting to the account. It's just when USAA does the second part of the transaction to collect the funds, they're unable to do so. So that is the reason why it's adjusted.
Interesting. And that would count as a ACH reversal, right?
That's correct, sir.
Yeah. And usually those.
So there's no issue with the information that we have, because if there was any issues with the credit card information, then it wouldn't post to your account. The issue is when USAA goes back to collect those funds, then they're unable to do that. So it's just like writing if you were to write a check to someone and they take it into the bank to collect those funds, and they're saying no, they can't give them the funds. So I don't know if that makes sense, but you can write a check to someone, and as far as they're concerned, there's no issues. They take it to the bank and they say, here's the check that it was written to me by Sergeant Williams, and they say, no, we can't give you those funds. They're not going to tell the person that presents the check to them the reason why, but they'll send you out something saying, So based on what you're explaining, there is a possibility that the routing number and the account number is not matching up. So when USAA goes to collect those funds, they're not releasing it. So I would just check with them and make sure that the information that you have on record is the correct information, so that there will not be any issues. But as of right now, I don't see any issues. The payment has definitely posted to the account. That's your current balance. That's your credit limit, available credit limit.
Right. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I was the first night I was just looking. I researched it, and it was just saying that it's like wire transfer. It's like a wire transfer, like ACH. That's kind of how I understood it, and then it just automatically goes through. That's it. It should not reverse back unless the bank reverses back. But as you said, the funds, if you guys try to go back to collect the funds, or maybe there's a miscommunication between the banks. But I don't know. As I saw it was just automatic. That's it. When as soon as it goes through, then it's paid for.
And okay. I would also clarify with the bank that they're actually sending it electronically. A lot of times, consumers think that the bank is sending out a electronic transfer because they generated the request by online, and the bank sometime will turn around and send out a physical check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else you might want to clarify with them. If there is an issue, I would give it a few days, just monitor it, just to make sure that everything's going through. Because, at this point, there doesn't appear to be any issues. But I would go ahead and just monitor it for a few days. Sergeant Williams, did you have any other questions, sir?
No. That'll be it unless there's issues. No.
Okay, sir. Definitely go ahead and give us a call back, speak with our customer services department, and they can definitely go ahead and create a new research. And we can definitely go ahead and continue to look into that for you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you. Goodbye.